What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, I'm going to answer a question that I get asked extremely often, and that is, student, what is the best way to farm TBC epic plants and patterns? And the reason why people want to farm these is because, well, like the patterns and the plants themselves are really expensive. There is a shit ton of them, and everyone wants the holy grail, like something like the Felstay Longblade with a market value of like 1,000,000 gold. Like TBC patterns and plants have always been worth a shit ton of gold, and that is because, well, they're harder to get. And when you finally get a pattern or a plant, you need to get one of the patterns or plants that is actually worth a good amount of money. So what is the best way to farm them, right? And to answer the question, there's a lot of different ways you can farm them, and there's a lot of unknown spots as well to farm them. However, most people that ask me that question, they are into crafted transmog, or maybe they just picked up the 0 to 10 million gold guide, which you can now get for 50% off using the discount code the Dragonflight. And they want to start gathering these patterns and the plants. Now, step 1. If you are trying to make gold with crafted transmog and you don't want to pay big gold for the plants and the patterns, you shouldn't buy any TBC pattern or plant before you have farmed the BOPs, because there's so many dungeons and raids in the Burning Crusade that drops bind on pick up patterns and plants. So you're way better off, for instance, finishing off the TBC raids like SSC and also DI, and more importantly, Sunwell Plateau for the bind on pickup plants and patterns, because while you farm for the BOP ones, you might also get the BOE ones, because TBC patterns and plants can drop from every single mob in the entire expansion, right? And something like the Sunwell Plateau, where the patterns and the plants that are BOP are extremely hard to get. You can expect to spend many hours inside those raids in order to try and get the BOPs. So that should be step 1. Now, if you have all of the Burning Crusade, the BOP plants, and you want to get the BOE ones, just know that on average, you're better off making gold in other means and then spend that gold to purchase the plants and the patterns. And that way, you'll obtain the patterns and the plants faster than simply trying to farm the mold, because there's so many of them that it's going to take you ages. However, if you're into farming big boy items and you want to try and farm them yourself, maybe you already have most of them, you just want to sell the plants and the patterns like I do, then there's a couple of alternative locations. Now, step number 1 is something, or the farm number 1 is something that I have featured a lot on this channel, and that is running the dungeon monotombs. The reason why we run monotombs is because it's a relatively short dungeon. After killing the last boss, you can just jump down a ledge and run out, reset dungeon, go back in. There's also going to be mining veins, so you can get corium inside the dungeon. If you're on heroic mode and you skip the bosses, you can kill the trash for the ether and prison keys. Now, the prison keys aren't really that good anymore because of the regional auction now, so they've gone down in value. But it's some steady gold together with mining, and you're also going to get Primal Shadow while you do Monotone. So that is, by all means, a relatively good farm. But since the only thing that matters when getting TBC epics and recipes is the amount of kills you can get per hour, there's better spots like this one in Legion Hold, where you will see these 3 pillars right here. And the thing is, these Shadow Council mobs, they hyper spawn. So you will average way more mobs per hour killing the mobs around these pillars right here. It is literally, it's impossible to kill more mobs in a dungeon than I'm doing even solo at this location right here. As you can see, the faster I kill the mobs, the faster the mobs will respawn. Just know that the farm isn't nerfed if you've been killing these mobs for a while and they just stop spawning. Like, that happens. It is normal. Sometimes I've done this farm for an hour without having the mobs like stop spawning a single time. And sometimes I kill the mobs for like 5 minutes and then they just stop spawning. And you gotta wait for a while until they start hyper spawning again. But just know that that is very normal. It can happen. And the farm is not nerfed. It's been like this for like the last 8 years where I've been making videos and live streaming. So perfectly normal. So as you can see, this spot is absolutely insane, and you will average way more kills per hour than running something like monotombs, and averaging way more mob kills per hour obviously drastically increases your chance of getting an epic plan or pattern. Now, once again, the location was right here up at Legion Hold on these 3 pillars. Now, the next spot that I want to talk about that is better than anything you will ever do in TBC, I'm going to show you guys a clip from my live stream, is this location right here in the Path of Conquest. Also, Shadow Moon Valley. I mean, the mobs at this location are spawning so fast that you have troubles to kill them all. Like, it's a real struggle. It's frustrating sometimes when you're trying to kill all the mobs, but they just spawn faster than you can kill them. And it is absolutely insane. We have done this 3 times, like 3 days in a row. The first hour, we got 8 epic items, both transmog and recipes. The second hour, we got 6. And then the third hour, we got really unlucky. And we only got the 3 epics like alongside the 2 groups. Because you do need 2 groups. And that is the downside with this farm. So for the exact location, it is called the Path of Conquest, located next to the Sanctum of Stars. And if you guys aren't familiar with this place, there's like 2 levels to the farm. You have this lower level filled with these Blood Elf. I mean, just look at the density on these mobs. It is absolutely insane. So you need to face 2 groups similar to how you do a 2x4. And you need to do this with 2x5, because the people killing the mobs downstairs aren't going to be looting the mobs that we kill upstairs, because you can only do a 2x4 setup if you have a farm where you don't one-hit the mobs. So the whole concept of doing this is having 2 groups, 5 people in each group, being on the same phase, so we just help each other hyperspawn the mobs, where you have 5 people running back and forth on this lower level, hyper-respawning the mobs, and then you have another group of 5 people running back and forth on this upper level, hyper-respawning these guys right here. And that will result in what you guys could see on the screen, where the mobs are just spawning like absolute crazy. And you'll also get like thousands of the reputation items, thousands of netherweave cloth, some raw gold, nothing to brag about, but it is a couple of thousand gold an hour just in the reputation items and the cloth. But the reason why it's good, it's because it's in TBC. It's the highest kill per hour farm that you can do. So yes, this is the absolute best location in TBC for epic transmog and patterns and plans that you could possibly do. However, that is only if you can do it with 10 people, 5 people in each group. So it's tougher to coordinate and find a group for that. If you're going to do it solo, Legion Hold is the best location. If you want to do a dungeon, do monotombs. If you're doing it because you want to collect the patterns yourself, you're most likely into crafted transmog, and then you should focus on farming the bind on pickup recipes first, because they also have a chance of giving you the BOEs. Hopefully that cleared up some of the questions you guys had about TBC. And if there's any more questions, just leave them down below in the comment section. Don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide. And thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you'll be notified whenever I upload another YouTube video. And that is pretty much it. So thank you guys so much once again for watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye-bye.